this. We have the greatest rifle setup of all time.
Wow.
I don't know if there is something that could be better than this. I think we may have actually reached peak AR, and we have other pictures as well. And I don't know which one's better, the one on the bottom or the one on top.
Oh my god, is this a meme?
Sure.
There's no
No. This guy was arrested with all of this in his car.
Oh no.
In Mexico.
What if?
So let me read this because it's gonna get worse. A U.S. national has been arrested in Atlacamulco, a municipality in the state of Mexico, northwest of Mexico City, after authorities discovered a cache of military-grade weapons, their quote, not mine, and what investigators believe to be a falsified CIA identification credentials. So this guy had fake CIA just papers in his car saying like, oh yeah, I work with the CIA, bro. According to early reports from Mexican law enforcement and local media outlets Reforma, the arrest occurred during a traffic stop or checkpoint operation when officers noted suspicious items inside the suspect's vehicle. Upon inspection, security personnel found assault rifles, tactical gear, and ammunition consistent with military use. Again, whatever that means. I think there's like 22 rat shot or something in the car. The individual reportedly presented documentation claiming to be a CIA operative, but Mexican authorities have stated that their credentials appeared to be counterfeit. I want to see what the papers actually said. If it's just like scribbled in like John Doe, CIA agent number 7 or something like that. During the arrest, the suspect sustained an injury. Officials have not specified whether it was self-inflicted, sustained during a struggle, or accidental, and was transported to a nearby hospital under police custody. Mexican federal investigators and the Fiscalia General de la República, FGR, have opened an inquiry into whether the suspect had any links to organized crime, arms trafficking, or unauthorized intelligence activity within Mexican territory. The U.S. Embassy in Mexico City has been notified and is working to confirm the individual's identity and citizen status. The seizure of high-powered weapons and false intelligence credentials has raised immediate security concerns as Atlacamulco is known as a transit corridor for drug and weapons smuggling routes connecting central Mexico to western states. Officials said additional security checkpoints are being established in the area and the suspect will be transferred to a federal facility once stabilized. So this, oh no, oh my gosh, that's wow.
They were comparing him. They said, "Hey, glad he could make it onto the panel today." Comparing him to Chris a minute ago.
Oh yeah, that side profile. Actually, dude, I should Photoshop you in there now. That would actually be very funny. But yeah, so fortunately we have a full evidence table, so we can kind of see exactly what we're working with here. So,
brother,
we have what might be a PVS-14 on one of the helmets, though.
It looks like a fake Chinese, the front end of it, that weird offshoot cap thing, that looks fake. That looks like a Chinese digital night vision setup.
Yeah, it might be something that just looks like a PVS-14. He's got like Temu vests with just ridiculous attachments on them. 2 battle belts, and yeah, these rifles. So you were kind of right about the carry handle. So it's a carry handle, pick mount, reverse scope mount to a SIG MSR 1-6.
Jesus.
With about 7 inches. Yeah, it's the I have where's the goobers?
It's also on a braced pistol too, which is just great.
Yeah. On a braced pistol, we have what is assuredly a fake PEC 15 mounted to the side of this Chinese quad rail. Let's go back to the other picture real fast.
He's got a front sight post, but the barrel doesn't seem to go beyond the post.
Well, so I don't know how that's even. I don't know if he cut it or what. So the bottom one, it has what looks like UTG rail panels. So it's probably one of the old Chinese UTG like insert quad rails, 2-piece quad rails. It has a knockoff Atlas bipod, I want to say. And yeah, so I mean, the odds that scope is even a real MSR 1-6, it's probably some Temu knockoff of a cheap budget scope. And then you have a front sight base with no barrel. So he must have cut it off. He must have cut it off at the front sight base.
Hey,
And then
that's just his recce retro future carbine
CQB
build.
rifle. Yeah. Because
Pistol, yeah.
it's got to be you need the magnification so you can identify a distance, but you got to have the height over bore so that you can do CQB with your giraffe neck. The laser, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. Now the top one I think might even be worse. So the top one, it's funny. The top one is definitely a short barrel with a stock, right? Some sort of red dot, a backwards EOTech, and maybe a thermal clip-on up front.
Is that what that
I
is?
saw a comment
That's
about
kind
that
of
rifle.
yeah. It looks
was
like a thermal
how you
clip-on, I
save-
guess.
It's like how you save inventory space in Tarkov.
Yeah, put everything on one of your guns, right? And then it has, I remember these flash hiders. So this is like a muzzle brake flash hider that's literally like 4 inches long,
Yeah.
because it has like finned ports out the side, and then it ends in a 4-prong flash hider, which does not do anything because you have the brakes like 2 inches in front of it. And then there is, oh, actually, I know that light. That's one of those double headlights from underneath. I need to find this now.
Yeah, that's
With a Armaspec grip, Magwell grip, I think.
I think those are Fab Defense, aren't they?
I don't know.
I've
who
never
makes
used
them.
one.
Yeah, I've never used one either. Yeah, wow. It's does he have a red dot behind his EOTech, or is that a magnifier?
I thought it was a magnifier, but
Let me. The other
can't
picture
tell.
doesn't really show it better. I think it's
He's
an
clearly
optic.
never used it because you can't use an EOTech oriented in that direction. So
Well, it's got to be fake, right? Because on this side, you actually see that it does have the third button for night visions, but there's no way he spent that much money on like an EXPS 2 or whatever.
Yeah,
it is,
it's like
right?
some Chinese adjacent
sorry.
knockoff or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And we haven't even talked about everything
Oh wait,
else.
he's
on
got
the
a
table
brass
yet.
catcher too. That's on the side. You see that the black
Yeah,
mass of the
yeah,
brass
yeah, yeah.
catcher. Wow. Whew.
Both of
Okay,
them have
so-
brass catchers.
The light is
Oh.
something like this. It is one of the dual head lights, I want to say. That's what that looks like to me. Because it definitely has
Yeah,
2
I
heads
see
on
it.
it. So it's got to be a dual head light. I have no idea what that IR digital night vision thermal camera thing is. But this one, the short one, the obvious short one, that has a stock on it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they
then
both
on
look
the,
short. Yeah.
they're both short, but the one on the right is supposed to be short. The one on the left was probably cut down. Like that's the
Yeah.
only way to get an FSB out that far, because it has to be. It's pinned to the barrel. Assumedly,
No.
it's pinned to the barrel.
Not
Unless
necessarily.
it's a one of those faux front sight blocks where the
Yeah.
gas is underneath. But even then, like why and how and who and what?
don't
the
ask why.
fuck?
That's not a rational
Yeah.
question at this point.
Yeah, the longer I look at
Oh,
this, the
yeah,
more
you're
my
right.
madness meter goes up.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's amazing.
Oh,
That
dude, I didn't know
screams
that they made a weapon-mounted light based off of the Clamps guy from Futurama. Jesus.
Yeah, Wally or whatnot. Yeah, but on the right, we haven't even talked about this. He has 4 Glocks or 4 P80s, I think, because I think those are the
SAR-9s.
SAR-9s.
No, I just what it looks like. I don't
no.
know. I actually don't know. It's just my guess.
Because I
wouldn't have
kind of
mentioned
think
it
they're
twice.
P80s. I think they're P80s.
They
Because
do.
that gray frame, and then they have the tan frame, which you could get back in the day from P80. I actually had a gray framed P80 26.
Okay.
And then they have either O lights or O light adjacent lights with goon tape on them, which is how you know he's a serious operator.
Yeah.
Now, one important thing is that some of the magazines are obviously 22 mags because they have that cutout in the middle. So he brought 2 9mm Glocks, 2 22 caliber Glocks, 2 rifles, quote unquote, and a bunch of shotgun shells.
Yeah. No
But-
shotgun.
No shotgun.
But no shotgun. Unless
Yeah,
one of these is secretly a 410 shotgun upper. But I doubt that very
But
much.
why would
They
they
look
be
like 12
12
gauge shells anyway, or 20
Yeah, those are
maybe.
12 gauge shells. No, those are
Well,
12
and yeah,
gauge
this
shells.
happened in Mexico. So this guy, assumedly American citizen, puts all this in the back of his truck and goes down to Mexico for something like, if true, if real, obviously not CIA, just a very mentally unwell person who wanted to go down to Mexico and just happened to get caught. Wild.
Yeah, mentally unwell is what I would call both of those builds.
Yeah,
He
perhaps the
only went down there
worst
with
of all
28
time.
rounds.
Oh,
He went
he's
down there
also
with
got
28 rounds of 5.56.
awesome,
hilarious.
dude. He also has one of those like folders on the top AR. He's got one of those like Sylvian arms or log
Oh, you're
folders too.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
he's
it's
got one of those
folding
on there as well.
Just as much garbage as humanly possible, and it has that same like fingered grip. I think you might be Fab Defense or whatever it is
Yeah,
grip on there.
yeah.
But yeah, Gentleman makes
$299
two of
at
the
one
worst, which is probably where he got them from. Gentleman makes the 2 worst ARs of all time, gets asked to go to federal prison. So yeah, now weapons charges in Mexico, no joke, horrible. Don't do that. Absolutely retarded. Know a guy who went over the border not realizing he had a firearm in the car and just got screwed for years and years and years, unrealizing that, because it's not difficult to go over the border, just not realize you have a gun in the car. If you live in Texas, you drive over the border for whatever it happens to be and just forget that you have that item back there, get pulled over, it gets found, and congratulations, you want to do 10 years in a Mexican prison?
Bro.
There was a whole diplomatic incident recently. It was my most past anniversary, I guess 2 anniversaries ago. I was in the Bahamas with my wife, and at the hotel there were some folks. I think they were part of the ambassador's office or maybe one of the senators, but basically a whole diplomatic group had come down because some kid had traveled to the Bahamas accidentally with like a couple 9mm rounds in his suitcase, didn't even realize it. They were just stray rounds, and just the rounds, no gun, and they were threatening like 7 years of prison. And so there was
because in some of these countries, it's like the ammunition, like each round carries a specific sentence or something stupid like that. So you get 1 charge per round of ammunition because you're not allowed to have a quote unquote like military caliber.
Yeah, that's how it is in Mexico.
Wild.
Yeah.